A mother named Caroline Ed and her daughter Vanja are shown waiting in their car in the tunnel. There was a significant traffic jam for unclear reasons. Meanwhile, they hear news of civil unrest and hundreds of casualties in the country. She switches the station when her daughter wonders what they are talking about. She can now see several people fleeing for their life as she hears gunfire. Vanja is startled when a man is shot in front of their automobile, but her mother stops her, covers her with her scarf, and begs her to keep quiet. Her daughter is eventually taken by armed men who approach their car. After some time, Caroline comes to a stop on the train, where a sergeant calls her name and asks her to step out. She tells him that it is not her stop, but he shows him the new orders. Now he tells her that they will pick her up along with others tomorrow. A lieutenant, Nitland, comes in his military vehicle and takes her with him. On their way to the base, he asks her about her family, education, and past. She tells him about everything before the Civil War. After some time on the road, he stops among the refugees' tents, asks her not to step out of the car, and leaves to take something for him. When he does not come back, Caroline comes out of the car to see him, but some refugees attack her to take her vehicle. But she kills them one by one and gets her Humvee out from there successfully. In the next scene, she reaches the base where she was ordered to prove her identity to them. After the verification, they take her to the other volunteers in the room. When Karim, Malik, and Grandvik were sharing their stories, Captain Forsberg comes there and takes them to Colonel Rod. The colonel welcomes them, asks them to sit, and orders the captain to start briefing the mission to them. She starts by showing them the infiltration of the rebels in their cities and the loss of the Swedish bases. She warns them that the enemy will reach them in a few days. The colonel interrupts and says they are about to lose the Civil War unless they accomplish a special covered mission, something that can change everything and the war. Now he gets up and informs them that the whole archipelago is covered in ice for the first time in 37 years. He tells them that they cannot move a vehicle on this ice, and it is too thick for a boat to push through it. He continued by saying that it could support a soldier on ice skates, and that's why they have been summoned there. He alerts them, informing them that he is going to assign them a mission to transport 2 capsules across the ice, from Tessini to the research facility in Odo. He names this mission Black Crab, like the crab in the dark. At last, Caroline expresses her worry, stating that traveling 100 nautical miles on skates across salty ice at night and behind enemy lines is an impossible task. She is reminded by the colonel that this mission is an order rather than a request. Except for Caroline, the colonel gives the order for everyone to exit the conference room. She is correct, he says, but they want them to finish the job. He now tells her that her daughter is at a camp for refugees in Odo, close to enemy borders, and he is showing her a picture of her. Regaining emotional composure, Caroline assures him that she will try her hardest to finish the assignment and go to Odo. After taking her picture, she exits the room. The next moment, Captain Forsberg comes to them and gives them the bags full of necessary things for their mission. She tells them that they will be out of the base for the mission before dusk. But in the middle of the night, when they were asleep, the enemy attacked their base. They ready their gear in the given 2 minutes and get out with the captain. They escape their attack, explosion, and gunfire and cross the ridge. There they meet the colonel again, and Caroline gets shocked seeing Lieutenant Nyland. Colonel Rod gives them the capsules and tells them to take extreme care of them. He orders them to secure them and take them to the research facility in Odo. After that, he makes Captain Forsberg the commander of the mission and orders them to go. They spend their night skating on the ice and take a short break in the morning. Forsberg orders them to wait for the dark to skate further. As all of this is going on, Forsberg breaks the ice. Caroline watches as everyone tries to save her, but she leaps in to save her instead. She is dead when she gets to her. After taking the capsules, she exits the water. After making the decision to relocate, they eventually locate a home on a small island. Caroline is escorted there, where Nyland assumes charge of the mission. Caroline challenges this choice, claiming that since he was not present for the colonel's briefing and lacks knowledge of the objective, she would not take him on as her new command. Saying that she did not save Forsberg and instead allowed her to perish in the river, he accuses her in revenge. Now another group member, Malik, stops them and tells them that they have to complete the mission without fighting each other. After some time, Caroline hears the radio's voices when she wakes up. When she emerges, she witnesses Karimi chatting on the radio with someone. They hurry to wake the others when Grandvik alerts them to the approaching helicopter. They leave the house with their capsules and bags. Caroline holds her gun at Karimi, suspecting him after the helicopter bombs the house. She informs them that prior to the helicopter arriving, he was in communication with someone. The group believes he is a traitor, but he naively says he was attempting to get in touch with his girlfriend. a communications officer at a recently bombed base, to check on her condition. The group is convinced but still removes Karimi guns from him for safety reasons. Lieutenant Niland orders them to take him with them without any weapon. After that, they move from there and continue skating on the lake. At night, they get shocked to see a number of dead bodies in the frozen lake. When they turn on their torch, a chopper locates them and opens fire at them. They run in different directions to find shelter. Somehow they manage to escape the chopper's attack and decide to go further through the land. After some time, they found a warehouse in the street and went inside. They meet an older couple there who offers them fresh food. When they sat to eat at the table, a spoon fell on the ground. When Caroline gets down to pick it up, she sees a machine gun fixed under the table. Now the old man opens fire at them, which hits Malik and kills Karimi. They also kill the couple and get out of their home and again skate on the lake. They come upon an abandoned ship on the lake after some time. They enter the house to rest. Granvik opens the capsule in the meantime, and to everyone's surprise, there is a biological weapon inside. Caroline informs him that everything on Earth is susceptible to being destroyed by a virus. They should go ahead and check the ship Malik orders. They learn there that Malik's injury is more serious than he initially thought. As Caroline gets to the deck, she hears a gunshot and spots a far-off light. Granvik informs her that he shot himself as she runs back. She informs them that they must move since she noticed a light nearing. They assure her that they won't abandon Malik there on his own. Now she comes out from there alone and skates on the ice to reach Odo. Soon she reaches an area of very thin ice that cracks under her. She slips there and struggles to get up but could not. Meanwhile, Niland and Granvik reach there and Niland asks him to give him the capsules. She requests him to throw her the rope so she can come back. When she gives them the capsule, they throw the rope at her. They pull her back and tie the ropes with one another to avoid falling into the river. After some time, Granvik falls, and they all lie down to pull him from the cracks. The enemy suddenly opens fire on them as they rush to dodge the bullets. Granvik is asked by Lieutenant Niland to snipe the gunman from that position. Caroline skates forward to their base on the island after he kills the shooter. She finds out that the shooter was the only person still alive when she gets to their military post, and that everyone else is already frozen to death inside the pillbox. They now arrive at the post and spend the night there. Caroline is shocked to wake up the following morning and find Niland gone. The capsule is not in his bag when she looks through it. As she emerges from the post and sees Niland, she is shot at. She rushes back and wakes up Granvik to run from there. Before she can decide what to do, she and Granvik are ambushed by a large number of enemies. They succeed in disposing of most of them, but tragedy soon strikes. They hit the positions to kill the enemy soldiers. Intense firing ensues at them. After a while, Caroline is about to throw the grenade at them when a soldier gets closer from behind and shoots her. The grenade returns to their pit after hitting her. When Granvik reaches for the grenade, it explodes along with him. Caroline then finds a way to eliminate every soldier and regain her skating abilities. After a while, she calls Niland to stop when she sees him on the ice. She shoots him and takes the capsule when he doesn't stop. He yells at her, telling her we have to dump them in the ocean because of this extremely dangerous virus. He tells her that when the virus spreads with the refugee flows, millions of people will die while Colonel Rod and the others will hide away in their bunkers. He continued by saying that it is not the weapon against the enemy, it is against them all. She does not listen to him and moves from there. After walking on the ice for some time, she reaches a point near an island and begins to faint. Eventually, she runs into people on horseback who utter the word black to her. She replies crab before passing out. In the next scene, Caroline wakes up in a hospital and is told by the doctor that her wound was severe and they had to amputate a few of her toes, but she'll survive. She is then told to meet the commanding officer, Admiral North, who promotes her as second lieutenant and awards her with 2 medals. She, however, is concerned with meeting her daughter, who the CO reveals was a farce to motivate her for the mission. Vanja was never at Odo. This news enrages Caroline, who attacks her superior, but since she is now a war hero, they just restrain her. Not knowing her next course of action, she seeks out Niland and urges him to help her destroy the virus. They conclude that the government wants to use refugees to spread the virus, which will trigger mass genocide, as the higher-ups wait for the world to reset in secret bunkers. Niland is hesitant, expressing that it is too late, but Caroline convinces him that their war hero status will let them infiltrate the lab and steal the virus. In the next scene, they go ahead and enter the lab, triggering alarms and killing people along the way. The scientists there tell them that they need to get the vials away from the people before destroying them, or else everyone will get infected regardless. They put on hazmat suits to sneak out of the lab to get onto a helicopter to escape. As Nyland secures their escape, Caroline stitches open, making it evident that she is severely wounded. She then urges Nyland to escape. To make things worse, the commanding officer Admiral North narrows in on her, and they draw the weapons. Caroline reveals to them that she's got grenades wired to the virus and will blow it. This is when her superior confirms her suspicion about the use of the virus and begs her to consider the fate of her daughter. She replies that that's exactly what she is doing and jumps off the edge of the base, setting off the grenades. Nyland watches her sacrifice herself as the virus is disposed of safely. The movie ends with Caroline reuniting with her daughter in the deep sea and hugging her. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe for more videos like this to help the channel grow.